The plasma torch hissed as Zia welded another patch onto the cargo hauler's hull. Sparks cascaded around her protective visor like dying stars, illuminating the cramped repair bay of Station Kepler 442b. She'd been working for 16 hours straight, but that was nothing new. Human mechanics were prized throughout the galaxy precisely because they could push their bodies beyond what most species considered reasonable. Another satisfied customer, she muttered, stepping back to admire her handiwork. The Centaurian freighter captain would pay well for this rush job, even if he'd complained about hiring a primitive biped for the work. A shadow fell across her workspace. Zia looked up to see a figure in the doorway, tall, elegant, with the distinctive scaled skin and elongated features of the Draconis majora species. But something was wrong. The being's usually pristine scales were dulled and cracked, dark bruises mottling the silver-blue skin around her neck and arms. "You are the human mechanic," the Draconis woman said, her voice carrying the musical quality of her species but strained with exhaustion. "Zia Okafor, at your service." Zia pulled off her welding gloves, studying the alien's injuries with growing concern. "What can I fix for you?" The Draconis stepped closer, revealing the full extent of her battered condition. Her elegant robes were torn and she favored her left side. Most shocking of all, her proud cranial crest, the symbol of status among her people, had been partially severed. "My ship? It needs repairs. But more than that..." The alien's voice dropped to barely above a whisper. "I need passage away from here. Far away. What's your name?" "Elsa. Commander Elsa Thaxandra of the 4th Draconis Fleet." She paused, then added bitterly, "Former commander." Zia had heard of her, a war hero who'd fought alongside human forces during the Void War. The Draconis were proud, honor-bound creatures who valued strength above all else. For one of their military elite to appear in such a state. "What happened to you?" Elsa's golden eyes met Zia's. "I refused an order. My superior wanted to use planetary bombardment against a civilian colony that harbored rebels. I could not. The humans I fought beside during the war, they taught me that honor means protecting the innocent, not slaughtering them." The mechanic nodded slowly. She'd heard stories about how humans had influenced other species during the war, not through superior firepower, but through their stubborn insistence on principles even in the darkest times. "So they court-martialed you?" "Worse, traditional punishment for disobedience." Elsa's hand moved unconsciously to her damaged crest. "But I escaped before they could complete the ritual scarring. My ship is damaged and I have nowhere to go. The Draconis worlds are closed to me now." Zia considered this. Helping a fugitive could bring serious trouble, but she'd never been one to abandon someone in need. Another of those supposedly primitive human traits. "Let me see your ship." They walked through the station's corridors to the docking bay where Elsa's vessel waited. It was a sleek Draconis courier built for speed but showing signs of hasty departure. Scorch marks along the hull. One engine nacelle, dark and lifeless. "Engine shot," Zia observed, running her hands along the damaged section. "Hyperdrive motivator is cracked, and your nav computer's been wiped. Someone didn't want you to get far. Can you repair it?" "I can fix anything that's broken," Zia said with the quiet confidence that had made her reputation. "But it'll take time and parts. Expensive parts." Elsa's shoulders sagged. "I have no credits. My accounts were frozen when I was declared traitor." "Then we have a problem." Zia scratched her chin, thinking. "Unless..." She turned to face the Draconis fully. "You said you learned about honor from humans. Well, here's another human concept for you. Investment in potential." "I don't understand." "You're a decorated military commander with experience fighting alongside multiple species. The Centaurian Mining Consortium has been looking for someone to head security for their expansion into the Rim territories. Dangerous work, but it pays extremely well." Elsa straightened slightly. "You would help me find employment?" "Better than that. I'll fix your ship, get you new identity papers, and put you in touch with the consortium. In return, when you're established, you help other refugees who wash up here, Draconis or otherwise. Pay it forward." The alien stared at her for a long moment. "Why would you take such a risk for a stranger?" Zia smiled. "Because that's what humans do. We're stupid that way." For the first time since she'd arrived, Elsa's expression softened. Then to Zia's surprise, she spoke in halting but determined English. "I'll have your baby." "What?" Zia blinked. "It is," expression I learned from human soldiers, When someone does great kindness, you say you will have their baby. It means deepest gratitude? Despite everything, Zia laughed, a rich, warm sound that echoed through the docking bay. Close enough. Though the phrase you're looking for is "I'll have your babies," plural. And yeah, I'll take that as payment. 3 days later, Zia watched Elsa's fully repaired ship lift off from the station. The Draconis had new identity papers, a job interview scheduled with the consortium, and something she'd lost: hope. 6 months after that, Elsa returned to Kepler station with her first group of refugees, a mixed bunch of political dissidents, war criminals seeking redemption, and others who'd fallen through the cracks of galactic society. She'd kept her word. "You know," Elsa said as they watched Zia work on repairing the refugees' various ships, "I think I understand now why humans are so feared by some species." "Because we're unpredictable?" "No," Elsa replied, her golden eyes warm with understanding. "Because you make us all better than we thought we could be." Zia just smiled and went back to work. After all, there were always more things to fix, more people to help. It was the human way. The end.